It's time for the original talk show of the National Finals Rodeo. It's Outside the Barrel with your host, Flint Rasmussen. Joining us today, bull riders Josh Frost and Sage Kimsey. A legend in the comedy world, Larry the Cable Guy. And Grand Ole Opry star and true Wyoming cowboy, Mr. Chancey Williams. And now, the weakest link of our show today, the legendary Flint Rasmussen.
See, you're supposed to clap until I'm in place. You know, you can take the crowd away from the rodeo, but you can't take the road. Did you call me the weakest link?
The weakest.
You can't do that. I'm the one that has all their phone numbers. Anyway, good to see you. I got nothing. You know, it's been a great I would say a week. We call it a week. But we've been here a couple weeks. And it's been a great couple weeks. We're surviving. We've stayed healthy. We don't have anything. No. Maybe because I don't know if we're immune to getting the Vegas crud. Everybody gets sick, but we're good. You know what else?
No.
You know, and I can't technically say this as an ambassador of the product because you can't spread. So I won't actually say it. But I know one thing that really keeps the sickness away. And it's really just, you know, staying, taking care of yourself, staying in shape, staying hydrated. And, you know, other than that, I think it's pure luck that we don't get sick while we're in Vegas. See, I didn't really say that is what keeps us healthy, but I'm a true believer in the elixir of the gods.
The medicinal properties.
Yes, I am. Yes, so are those ladies. They're well medicated already this morning.
I'll tell you the little secret I have to staying healthy during this week. Yeah. Every morning when you text and say, "Hey, want a carpool?" and I say, "No, I'm busy."
You can tell it's late in the week. Kurt hates me. It's like, as the week goes, Kurt starts. Was it yesterday that it was elevator etiquette?
2 days ago. Yeah.
2 days, the elevator etiquette. Yeah.
Hey, we're going down? I don't know. What's the arrow say?
That was a couple days ago. Yeah, we did. Also, trade show etiquette. If you're going to stop and BS, just do it outside the middle of the aisle.
Oh.
Especially, and the rule more than that applies, if it is someone you just saw in your local restaurant at home last week. My God, look at who's here. And you make a big circle, and then you talk about all the stuff that's going on.
Stuff?
That's going on back home. Man, have you guys got any snow? Boy, we could sure use some. It's sure dry. Now this was not part of the script. This is what gets me. From Midwest all the way to Montana. Holy cow, we could use a storm. It's awful dry. In Montana. What are you growing in Montana right now that you need moisture? By the way, Kurt and I have an ongoing 10-year inside joke that whenever we get a big snowstorm, we take a picture of it and the caption is 2 words. Good moisture. Because we hate it.
Yeah.
But somebody somewhere, boy, I'll tell you what. That's good moisture. Shut up. So is rain.
Yeah.
Rain is good moisture too.
Yeah, can we just get rain in May and call it good?
Yeah. So obviously we don't have that much to talk about. This was the first morning. I've done well. It's been fun. We've had a great time all week. This was the first morning that I woke up, made a cup of coffee, sat down on my couch and said, I have a couch, by the way, and said, no, I don't want to see. Now I feel better when I walk out here.
Yeah. He calls me crying from the couch. I
don't want to
do this anymore.
I can't do it today. And here I am. grinding away.
You're grinding, yeah. Dance, monkey, dance.
Poor us.
For us.
Poor us, making the world better. Speaking of making it better, we need to make this monologue better.
Yeah, we do.
So I thought, why not bring out help with the conversation? So first, kind of a last-second guest that's going to help us with the conversation. An old friend of mine, former PBR great, my friend Tater Porter is here. Tater, are you out back there? Are you? Go get Tater. Wait. Go. Hey, Kurt. Yeah. Little urgency. Let's go. That's Kurt's job. There's Tater Porter. There you go. Okay, I'm going to put you here. In the middle? I'm going to put you in the middle. Have a seat. Okay. In addition, so Tater, we did a lot together. Back in the day, sponsored by Enterprise. We were Team Enterprise. But your very first sponsor as a rookie bull rider in the PBR, tell us who your very first sponsor was.
Get her done. Larry the Cable Guy.
Hey, what? Who?
Larry the Cable Guy.
Hey, everybody, Larry the Cable Guy. The chair's too big. Maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe,
right.
do something for me. Come here. Come here.
I'm too fat to get out of this thing.
Hey, I've been taking crap about this chair all week. There, you have the chair.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
I know you sink
He's
down
still way
in it.
back in this thing.
You can't get out of it. You get some weight, you can't get out of it. Get her done.
there you go.
All right.
How about our man? Tater looks like he could still do it, man.
Boy, he can. He can still ride them, I'll guarantee you.
What do you think?
Really, after watching some of it, I do think I can really get in. I could ride one again
Do you really?
if I handpicked them.
Most guys, there's about 40 pounds of them have never seen a bull, but you look pretty good.
But I have gained 40 pounds. Though.
Well, we never stay the same. You know, I had to lose a little weight. I knew I had to lose some weight. I got on the trampoline with my kids the other day. I did 2 jumps and had to get off. You know, I wasn't tired or anything. I had to get a ladder to get them out of a tree. You know, so I had to lose a few pounds.
I want to tell you before I forget, Mo Bandy was here yesterday.
Get out of it. You're always bragging. You're always...
And he said you stole a joke from him.
Well, what's that?
It was about the lady that was so big when she got in the bathtub, her toilet overflowed.
I never did that joke. Mo Bandy's got his comedians mixed up. My joke was she was so fat you had to hire a rodeo clown to distract her when you brought home the groceries. That was the one I did.
Now that's way classier than the
I saw a girl the other day so big, I'm not lying, she was dating a politician because she was worth 5 electoral votes. I mean, this was a big lady. Big lady. I went to her wedding, and she threw out her garter belt, and I'm not lying, for the last month, I've been using it to tie up cordwood on my pickup. I mean, this was a big gal. I'm not saying she was big, but... You know what she gave my kids at Halloween?
What?
Candy wrappers. I mean, this was a big lady. In college... You know how big she was? In college, she went to a sorority called Thelma Eta Tata. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, Tater, how you been?
Wonderful.
Tater Porter, let me tell you something. Tater Porter, I knew Tater was going to be out here.
We just brought Tater so he had somebody to make fun of. Right?
Absolutely. Tater Porter is one of the greatest bull riders that ever lived. And Tater Porter... We're both in Florida together, and I'm a big bull riding fan. I had some bulls in the PBR. And Tater, I said, Tater, well, how'd that go, Tater? I wanted to sponsor you, right?
Through mutual friends, he kept saying, hey, let's do something. I want to sponsor you. Let's do something. But I was a kind of a rookie guy, and I kept turning him down like the first date because I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, well, so then finally we kind of come to an agreement or whatever. And then I had Larry the Cable Guy on my shirts from the beginning of my career till the day I got on the last bull ride.
No,
in
it
Vegas.
was awesome.
Why,
Yeah, he was the best, man. I love.
but
and
why did he tell you no? He said you turned him down.
He wanted $1 million.
I wish that was true.
What you just didn't? What was the deal? What was your reasoning as a rookie bull rider, even back then?
Well, I guess because just being so humble, I just out there riding bulls, just sticking my hand in the rope because I didn't know no difference because that's what I wanted to do. But then all of a sudden, he's wanting to give me money and put his logos on me, and I was like, I don't know how all that works. So
Well,
anyway,
that-
I just kept turning him down. I was just a little nervous of getting tied in with him.
That's how awesome he was. I'm not kidding. He's like the nicest guy ever. And he didn't want to, well, if I don't want to do good, I don't want to ruin, I don't want you to sponsor something I don't do good. But he was good. I said, you're going to be fine. You're a good bull rider. So we had a good partnership there for a long time. And I'll admit it. I'm not going to lie about it. He won the World Finals in 2000. And I cried like a damn baby. I ain't lying. Of course, my foot did fall asleep.
The thing is, the buckle that I wear now is older than most of the guys that are riding here now.
That's actually true. That is true. Do they know you? Like Josh and Sage backstage, they knew you right away. They're, oh yeah, Tater.
Well, I've run into them, through the PBR and stuff, them being over there. So I've run into them a few times over there. So that's how I got to know them a little bit.
Did I hear your son start riding bulls, or did I hear wrong? Why?
What's your name again?
No.
You know what? Yeah, my boy's trying to learn how to bull ride. He's been on about 8 ahead, and he's here with a buddy of his that does ride. He's won a couple of events. You know what? You can't, it's like Tater says, once you start doing it, you're addicted to it, and you love it. You just love it. You know the dangers, but you love it. So I told my kid, this is what I said. I'm not going to let my fear of him getting hurt get in the way of something that he truly wants to do. Believe me, if a kid wants to ride bulls, if you think they're faking it and they just want to do it to try to act like a tough guy or something, believe me, after 3 head, you'll find out if they want to be a bull rider or not. So he's sticking to it. He's only been hitting the nads a couple times, so far that's pretty good. He can still have kids, so that's a good
Did
deal.
you say the nad? Who says the nads anymore?
I say nads because there might be a church group in here, so I say nads.
And of course, I got them videos as soon as he sent them to me as soon as it happened.
I did well. I'm really proud of him, and it's tough, man. It is tough, but Tater, honestly, Tater's one of the nicest guys on the planet. I was so happy and privileged to sponsor him, but I couldn't think of anybody else I would brag about this to and go, Tater, my kid won. And I wanted him to give him some advice. And so every time he rides, the first thing I do is I videotape it and ship it off to Tater Porter, see what he says. Hoping he'll go, I don't want to tell him not to do it. But he keeps going, no, tell him to get that barrel higher. The higher he goes, the harder it'll fall. And
Send them to me. I'll give you some breakdown. I'll break down a ride.
Well, he's not going to run and jump in a barrel like you did. So that's the whole deal. Hey, remember that one time? For Only in America on the History Channel, I used to have a show on there called Only in America. And Larry the Cable Guy on the History Channel figured that out. So I went down to the Houston Rodeo, and I did a show on the Houston Rodeo. And so I got in the barrel.
Well, Leon Coffey was
with
probably
Leon
there, right?
Coffey was there. And I'm older. I can't go on roller coasters anymore. I get too dizzy. I got in that barrel to get hit by the bull. And first of all, I was about 290 pounds in, so you had to grease the sides of it to get in the barrel. And I got in that barrel. Here comes the bull, here comes the bull. And I'm down in there, oh, please, Lord, please don't let it hit the barrel. Of course, it would never hit the barrel. But they would kick the barrel at the bull, and I would be rolling around that barrel. I don't know how they do it. I got out of that barrel. Poor Leon. I actually saw 5 Leons when I got out of there. There's a Leon here, a Leon there, a Leon there. And I got out of that barrel. I was so dizzy, and I was so sick. I think I threw up 3 times. But we didn't film again for another 2 hours. And they were setting up for Lady Antebellum. in the middle of the thing, and they had to do sound check, and there was no place to lay down. And I went up on that stage, and I laid down in the middle of that stage, and Lady Antebellum was up there singing, and they'd be singing. They go, "Excuse me, Larry." They'd be walking over me, and the whole deal. I was so sick. I don't know how they do that in that barrel. It's horrible, horrible.
We're real men, Larry. We're real.
That's
I hate it. There was a time I got in the barrel a lot, did the Wrangler bullfight stuff, and would get hit. But my last 15 years or whatever, PBR, the barrels in the arena at PBR, they're not even made for people to get in. So I just did not need that in my life anymore.
No, that's a tough deal. Now, did you ever like get really hammered with the barrel where it goes flying?
Yeah.
And so that did happen.
Oh yeah.
What kind of ride's that like?
Here's how I always describe being in a rodeo clown barrel. It's like being on a ride at the carnival, like the zipper. Remember the zipper that'd spin you around? Yeah. And it's like being in the zipper with somebody trying to get in to kill you. So it's a ride, but you know there's something out there that wants what's inside. Like he knows that you're in there, kind of.
Well, first of all, I don't want to get on any ride at a carnival.
Right, me either. I can't anymore either.
I remember one time I was going to go on a roller coaster. My kid wanted to get on a roller coaster. I'm like, you do realize they put that roller coaster up in an hour in the parking lot, all right? It's not safe. And, of course, they're like, come on, I want to go on it. And you're like, no, you're not getting on it. So, anyway, we're on it. And that thing went upside down like twice. I was so mad at that guy. And I said, you didn't tell me it went upside down. And he's like, it's not supposed to. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of the fair, and I don't know if...
You been to any rodeos at the fair lately? Or?
Let me just say this. Have you seen the size of the corn dogs at these fairs? Holy man. My kid wasn't tall enough to go on the roller coaster, but the corn dog was. All right. I'm not saying they're big corn dogs, but I was eating one at the rodeo, and a horse came by and winked at me. Happy to have Tater Porter with us here as well. Tater. Happy to have Tater with us. Now, Tater, how long have you been not riding bulls?
07.
07, retired since 07, still a household name. He walked in there, Sage Kimsey, Josh Frost, no lie. Hey, that's Tater Porter. I'm telling you, that's unbelievable.
Don't believe all of it. It's
that's
really
not
like
true. I saw Tater get on in 2015. That was...
Well, that was the exceptional day.
Yeah.
I did get on.
That was tequila.
Hey, are you touring a little? You don't tour like you used to. You were at the Orleans here for like, what'd you tell me, 8 years in a row?
I did the last Saturday of the rodeo every year for 7 years in a row at the Orleans Arena. But that's just so. But then you do it, and then they've seen you 7 times in a row. You gotta lay off every now and then. But I've been doing this. This is my 38th year in stand-up, and man, Foxworthy. Matter of fact. Rodney Carrington's here. Go see him. He's great. Yep. My buddy Jeff Foxworthy, my adopted brother, he's over there tonight. And he doesn't know I'm here. I'm gonna jump on the stage tonight, and he doesn't know I'm gonna do it. So, yeah, you know what? Jeff Foxworthy gave me the greatest advice, and he said, if you don't got to go on the road, and you don't have to, do it all the time. He goes, don't ever miss your kids growing up. Don't ever miss things, So I said, all right. So about 5 years ago, I started slowing down. I said, as soon as my kids got in high school, I said, I don't want to miss anything. So I literally only take 24 dates a year. I do 12 weekends. That's all I do. And I'm enjoying doing that, and I get to do that. So that's what I'm doing. I get to see everything my kids are doing, so it's pretty awesome. I'm very blessed. It's really cool to be able to do that.
I wish I could go on 24 dates a year. That'd be great. I'm not quite at that pace.
You know what stinks? My wife goes on 24 dates a year. I haven't figured out. I don't know what's going on.
But doing for the kids, so now that his son's starting to ride bulls, now we're back there looking at trailers. He's got a brand new arena being delivered to the house, and he's going to be back in the bucking bulls He just doesn't know
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. We got a little arena going on. We're gonna buck some bulls in there, and hopefully these kids will be sitting next to you like Tater Porter is. Who knows?
Hey, besides, and I guess I'm curious of this from, and I've never really asked that from what I've done for so many years. And I've heard this kind of, Bill Engvall kind of did it. I've seen other comedians where you don't see him much anymore. Does your brain just kind of need to step away from it? Like, does your brain ever get tired of trying to look at the world in that way?
You know what? No, I look at it like that all the time. There's always something funny pops in my head. Ever since my whole family was always kind of funny. So I remember I'd like if I had to write short stories or some essay or something, it'd turn into a one-liner. It'd turn into a joke. So there's always something that my mind's always thinking of something funny, you know. So it never really turns off. I mean, this is just the way God made me. Made a good sense of humor, I guess. I don't know.
However, you say it doesn't turn off, but you turn off. Like, there's colleagues of mine, rodeo clown guys that I know, and it's just after about 15 minutes of conversation, you just want to be like, dude, I'm not going to hire you for anything. Just turn it off. So when we're backstage, we turn it off. We just have a conversation about our kids, but your mind's still going.
Well, yeah, I've said, okay, you're a couple of times to a couple of people. Joe Beaver, I told him that. Turn it off. I told Beaver that.
He's coming tomorrow.
I know. I saw him over there. But no, when I'm at home, that's the time you just chill out with your family and you turn it off. But I'm outgoing, so I love people. So I love being out, and you know, I get a lot of good material out there, and I write it down on my phone. So I'm a pretty outgoing guy. So I'm never like, if you came up to me, I would be like, look, I've turned it off. All right.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
I don't do that.
Leave
I'm like,
me alone.
yeah, how you doing?
You know,
I'm always like this. Oh yeah, how you been? Oh, how's so? Yeah, oh yeah. And then they walk away and go, I have no idea who the hell that was. You know what I'm talking about, Taylor.
Let's and I'm not gonna keep you guys all day. I appreciate you, but do you feel like Nebraska football has turned a corner a little bit? It's been a long couple years, man.
And you Nebraska people out here, go Big Rat. Yeah, you wait till next year. There's some stuff happening. I'm telling you, just hold on, hold your boots. Yeah, they're turning the corner. We're winning 8 games next year.
8 games next year.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Do what? Oh, volleyball is going to win the national. Volleyball is going to win the national title, beating Texas Sunday night. That's a fact. There, that's a great. You know how many? You know they did it in the stadium, right? You know Nebraska.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's an unbelievable volleyball school.
Yeah, I know.
92,000 people attended a volleyball game in Nebraska. That's
Which is a
unbelievable.
very big indicator of how much there is to do in Nebraska.
We tried to do that in Wyoming, but we didn't have enough snow shovels to clear the field.
But that was, I think it's cool that you had told me one time when you started making money, the first thing you did was you bought a suite, a season.
I bought a sweet box at the stadium because I grew up as a kid a Nebraska Cornhusker football fan. So many great memories when I was a kid. And the thing that stinks is I bought it because I said, this is awesome. Now my kids can enjoy Nebraska football like I did when I was a kid, and because I never got to go to a game, ever. I lived on a farm in a little town of 1,200 way down in the southeast corner. So now my kids can go to these games like I never got to do. And then we stopped winning. Not only did we stop winning, we stunk. And now my kids don't want to go. And the only time they go is when we play Wisconsin, because their cousins are from Wisconsin. They wear Wisconsin shirts. And it's killing me. So hopefully we'll get good again, and they'll put on them Husker jerseys again. Oh, it's frustrating. I hate my kids.
Who doesn't? Hey,
no, my kids, let me just say this. I remember where the doctor got mad at me when my kid was born. This when I realized not everybody has a sense of humor. We're in there, and my wife, she's in labor. My kids were C-section babies, section C at a Foreigner concert. And the doctor, my wife is, she goes to the doctor, when I had this baby, I want to be knocked out and unconscious. And I looked at the doctor and I go, you know, that's how she was when she got pregnant, right? You do know that, right? He's like, get out of here. Wait outside.
Speaking of college, though, and kids, let's hear about yours, Flint.
My girls are good. They're all graduated from college. I'm old. Graduated from college. One's
Wow.
on the East Coast. One's in Arizona.
How old are you?
I'm 87 years old.
You look
I
fantastic.
look great.
You look fantastic. But Tater's only 26. That's how bad bull riding's got to be. Tater, what are you? You're
52.
52. I'm the eldest. I'm 60 years old.
Are you
believe
really?
that? It's, look at me. Square jaw, firm muscular buttocks. You would never know I was 60 years old if you seen me walking
Hey,
out
if
there.
I call you, can I come to a Nebraska game? with you?
Absolutely.
Would you do that? for me?
Absolutely.
I've always wanted to go to a game there.
Corey Wall comes all the time.
Oh, he does?
Yeah,
Bullfighter?
you're
Yeah.
always welcome. Tater's
Okay.
always welcome.
I don't know you, so I don't know if you care about it. I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you, the Husker fans.
Hey, listen,
Absolutely.
guys.
Anytime you
Yeah,
want
I
to go,
can
you let me know.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then come out and check out these kids getting on bulls.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then right before the day of the game, I'll get a hold of you and go, I thought it was tomorrow, because that's what you did to me this morning.
I thought, look, he wanted me on the show. Well, I actually called you and said, hey, are you doing your show? Can I come on your show?
I do want to say, you called me 3 weeks ago and said, you doing your show? Yeah, I want to be on. Larry, that is true.
I
You
love
called
Flint.
me.
I love Flint's show. I mean, I'm always out here with my wife and kids because I love the NFL. So I called Flint. Are you doing your show? He said, I said, well, you need a guest. But he said, I said, well, look, Tater's coming out. Can Tater come? I want to bring Tater with me. So me and Tater. He says, yeah, come on out. So I said, fine. But I thought he said Saturday at 12:30. So I'm over there just hanging out shopping, and Tater calls me and goes, where you at? You're on in like 12 minutes. And I go, no, that's tomorrow. He said, no, Flint said it's today. I'm like, I made a beeline. I made a beeline. I didn't want to let Flint down.
Well, listen, I'm going to get to some bull riders. I'm not going to keep you guys all day. But truly, it's great that you called me. You're a good friend, Tater. Great friend, too. This has just been a couch conversation with friends.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you always offering to come
It
on
was
my
a
show.
lot of fun. And go back on videos if you ever get a chance. Watch this boy right here win that 2000 finals. He's unbelievable.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Flint.
Good to see you.
got
Love you guys. Tater.
Get her
thank you, bud.
done!
Larry, Tater. Hey, speaking of bull riders, Sage Kimzey and Josh Frost coming up after a quick break. But don't go anywhere.
Growing up, you wanted those older cowboys that you admired to someday call you a cowboy. Nobody can tell you you can't do that if you want to work at it hard enough. If money's super important, I'm doing the wrong thing, but I kind of got to pinch myself because I truly love what I do. It's amazing what you can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit. Just make sure it gets taken care of.
Welcome back, everybody. Great show today, by the way. This is the most loaded show I think we've ever had. Hi, Brad. Good to see you. Glad you could come by today. You know that. Sure appreciate you. You know that. Good to see you, Hambone. By the way, Richard Jones playing us a little music today. And in the back, Hambone and Brad Narducci. Hambone, of course, the music director at the NFR. Brad Narducci, the assistant music director. So, I do want to say, Hambone, and never been anything wrong at the NFR. I've been once. I'm going tonight. I think you've brought another element to the NFR with some enjoyable music and the way it flows, and we appreciate you, sir. Great job all week long. We appreciate it. How about a big salute to Hambone? You know that. It's my Randy Corley. Hey, really, like I said, a loaded show, a lot of good friends on the show today. Not just a lot of good friends, but coming up, I believe two of the biggest stars and two of the greatest bull riders straight across the board in the entire world. Please welcome a couple great champions, Josh Frost and the one and only Sage Kimzey. I know, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. Rich, it's my stage smells of old leather books and rich mahogany. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Good
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah, you'll be way funnier than Larry, so don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, we already knew that.
Yeah, good to see you. Give me, in a few words, I'll start with you, Josh. How's your week going in your mind when you think of your week at the NFR? Sum it up for us through 8 rounds.
It's been different, but good. New challenges.
Okay, what are those new challenges?
The only thing I did good on a lot of my bulls was ride them out of the chute. Normally, when I ride them out of the chute good, I ride them good, but it took me a couple of them to realize that you got to do more than just ride them out of the chute good.
So your shoot procedure has been
Yeah,
amazing.
Chute procedure, first 2 jumps, been outstanding.
Sometimes that's all we can ask, Josh.
Yep.
What about you, Sage? Your week so far in a nutshell.
I would say like one word, probably just expected in a lot of ways, because there's so much just randomness that goes on with rodeo. I feel like I've been riding really good. My body feels good. Obviously everybody's tired and a little sore now, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of been relatively smooth sailing, I guess. I've taken care of the draws that I'm supposed to. The 3 bulls that bucked me off, one of them, I lost my rope right around the corner, so...
Bad rosin.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad rosin. Literally, no, get this. This is a funny story. This is...
Oh, good. Okay.
I don't think it'll challenge Larry's humor, but it... So I had some rosin sent to me. I've used frost rosin for going on probably 3 years now. Josh makes his own rosin, and it is the stickiest, best stuff that you can get. So I get this rosin from the guy that made my rope, and anyway, it's like, whatever, it works, this, that. Well, the night before I lost my rope, that night in the locker room, Josh is giving me a hard time. He's just like, well, better hold on to it pretty good tonight. I was like, yeah, whatever. Sure enough, lose my hand, pops out right around the corner, right in the middle of the bull, and I was just like, first thought I had, I was just like, oh boy, this is not going to be good. Josh is going to give me hell whenever we get back. And he did. But yeah, I mean, really, my performance has been good. Had that happen, didn't get a reride in round 3, and then first time the eliminator pin was out, just got flat bucked off. So, performance has been good.
Really, that's what guys say. You got to ride the ones you're supposed to ride. Then you got to ride a couple more that maybe you're not supposed to. By the way, and I will say, I know it's been a few rounds ago, how you didn't get a re-ride when a bull goes all the way to both hocks and his butt. Donnie Gay put it a good way. And that's the one thing he's put a good way. He said, man, I don't know, we're all looking at the same thing. I saw it plain as day, and there's 4 guys that didn't see it.
And those are the 4 guys that matter.
Yeah. But, where I've worked the last few years, you could walk over and hit the button. They would have reviewed it and given you a rewrite.
That's the big thing. Without instant replay, I mean, it is what it is. The judges have hard calls to make all the time. I will say they did make up for it yesterday because I slapped my bull big as day and got a good paycheck for it. So at the end of the day, what goes around comes around, and it is what it is.
Hey, but that is so on track. Of all people, my daughter Shelby, who rodeoed junior high school, college, and professionally, said, listen, you hate bad calls, but we all get calls. She reminded me she was in the breakaway roping at a college rodeo and pitched her slack and the rope pulled tight, and he flagged her, and it was hooeyed over her horn, and it never broke, and she got a time and made it to the short round. Said, I've got bad calls, but it always kind of comes back.
It does.
A little bit.
You hate to see it because you always want the right guy to win. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it does. It's ebbs and flows. It always comes around. And I was watching Coleman Proctor, one of his toter tales, which I think are just hilarious.
Yeah.
Night arena record, Thomas and Mack, this and that, hits him with the crossfire, and gives him a no time. Well, he was talking about it the next day, and Coleman's really funny. He's got a lot of humor in his deal, but and he was talking about it, and his perspective on the matter was inspiring to me, and it was one of those deals, and he kind of said the same thing. We ask these judges to make hard calls all the time, and without instant replay, they're going to miss some, you're going to get gifted some, and it just is what it is.
Josh, congratulations once again. How many times Linderman Award winner?
4.
4-time Linderman Award winner. I don't know if we describe it to the layperson as well, but that's someone who does a rough stock and a timed event, or 3?
You have to have three events, 2 at the opposite end of the arena. So 2 rough stock, 1 timed event, or 2 timed event, 1 rough stock.
And there's been people win it, but you're one of those guys that still makes the national finals rodeo. So you bull ride, calf rope, steer wrestle. Of the calf rope, tie down roping, and steer wrestling, which one is your favorite of those, and which do you do better at?
Definitely the calf roping. I really enjoy the calf roping. Still rope a bunch, practice a lot. The steer wrestling, doesn't matter how much I practice. I still get drug around a lot.
Practice does not make you bigger.
No, and it's kind of a conflict of interest with the bull riding, so I've avoided bulking up. But if I am entered in the steer wrestling, I'll usually go and get like an ice cream cone or something before. Little extra weight never hurts.
So what do you got to win? You got to win a certain amount, but what do you got to win?
You've got to win 1,000 in each of the events, and then once you've won 1,000 in 3 separate events, it just goes to total money won.
Yeah. So I brought this up to you before, David Sharp, who's with Wrangler and the Wrangler Network. He said, we can post cool videos, bull ride videos. He said, there's nothing that gets more clicks than a video of Josh Frost calf roping at a rodeo. For some reason, I think, and I'm the same way. Every time I see it, I go on, he's a freaking good calf roper. Like, you're good at this, Josh. I saw you somewhere. You were like 8-9 in the calf roping on a full, long score.
Yeah, no, like I said, I do work really hard at the calf roping, and I think my senior year of high school, I was actually winning more in the calf roping. Couldn't make it past the end of the gate in the bull riding, and I had full intentions of being a calf roper. I won 6th at nationals my senior year in the calf roping, and I was about to quit riding bulls and be a full-time calf roper.
Let's go. The next Phil Line. You can win the average in the bull ride and in the calf rope. Let's get out on the road, Josh. Let's go.
That's the plan for the future.
Really?
I got a pretty good horse right now, and when I say I practice at the calf roping, it's not a recreational hobby. Like I said, when I'm home, I rope almost every day. So,
whenever he says he practices, I've said it in countless interviews, and I've told everybody, Josh Frost is the hardest working man in rodeo. Like, bar none. We're out on the road, and we're getting on bulls almost every day and this and that, and we'll finally get a day off. That day off, I'll go play golf, or I'll take a long nap, or I'll go do whatever. Like, Josh is finding some random practice pen to go rope calves in, or entered in a different rodeo to try to get qualified in the Linderman. Like, people don't understand the amount of work that Josh puts into it. And I mean, it's an everyday, all-day thing. We have a heart rate monitor. Yeah, for sure. Give it up for him, because it's hard. We have a heart rate monitor group that the Carolina Cowboys are part of, and I'm pretty sure everybody, it tells you how much work you put in a day, basically. Josh wins every single week by almost double everybody else, because he really does work that hard.
You brought it up. I made a note to ask you about it. I think it's interesting. You say the Carolina Cowboys. That's the PBR Bull team that you are both on as teammates. It's interesting, and you guys, it was good to have you guys all fall. Sage, you have put it a good way in conversation with me that there's a lot of people, I walk around rodeo, I don't get the bull thing. Let's get to the real thing. Some people think it's ruined bull riding, when really the benefits that young guys see and the veterans helping, it's pretty interesting, really.
Oh, I think it's so cool. It's, rodeo and bull riding's always been, you turn 18, you're either good enough to make it or you're not. You don't have a whole lot of guidance. You either figure it out or you don't. And to be quite honest, like, I would say probably half would be my guesstimate. Half of your really talented individuals don't make it strictly for lack of knowledge. And that's tough. And if you can shorten that learning curve, now with the team set up, you come out 18 years old, and I think that the money will be exponential in a few years. In 5 years, if you have 18-year-olds signing $100,000 contracts coming out of high school, That's awesome. It's not the best part of PBR teams. The best part of PBR teams is they're going to sign this $100,000 guaranteed contract, and then they're going to go into an organization with a legend for a head coach, a bunch of top competitors on each of these teams, and you're actually going to have a culture and an environment for these kids to learn in a place where these people only want the best for them, because if they're winning, that means the team's doing good. And, you know, that side of the learning process, shortening the learning curve for these young kids, is going to be huge.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. Sage hit it on a little bit, but both of us, even coming from rodeo he came from rodeo family. I did, like, had access to bull riding knowledge, but it took me years of talking to bull riders behind the chutes to fine tune my bull riding to to get access to the knowledge of to where Sage was, to even my brother made the NFR. Like, everybody wants to get better, and we came from rodeo families and had to fight to get the knowledge that we have now. Them kids that are 18 years old that don't come from rodeo families, they're the kids that got the talent, and at the end of the day, like, Sage might talk to him behind the chutes, but he isn't going to for freely give him a 12-hour lesson on how to ride bulls, or let him hop in the rig with him and learn all the secrets. Like,
Yeah, no, you get 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you get to sit down with J.W. Harris for 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he might say, yeah, you need to drop your elbow a little bit. Good try, buddy. Thanks for your money. And now you've got to the point that these 18-year-olds, like I said, Justin McBride's their coach. He's a two-time world champion, rode some of the greatest bulls in the world, and he genuinely wants to see you succeed, because if you succeed, he succeeds. If you succeed,
Right.
Sage succeeds. Everybody on your team's pulling for you. You got guys coming out, and, we practice together now, but it's a whole different level when now you got 5 guys that are practicing together, working out together, and now when Sage wins, I win. When I win, Sage wins, and it's a whole different atmosphere that I think is going to take the sport of bull riding to a whole new level.
Yeah, good for you. Sage, speaking of that, you're going to adjust your career a little bit. You got a little guy laying over here watching you, and a beautiful wife, and you want to do something a little different. Still riding bulls, but just going to tweak things a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty big change, really. My wife and I have talked about it a lot, and the PBR was really good to me. Whenever I got hurt, they hired me on as the commentator for the first season of PBR teams, and I kind of got to go be around the organization, and the travel schedule is a lot easier. And at the end of the day, my number one priority right now is my son and my wife, and anything I can do to be home with them more, I'm going to be. So, chances are this is probably going to be my last NFR. I'm going to switch full-time to the PBR and give it a run over there, and mainly for the travel schedule and getting to be home with them more.
We loved when you came and did TV because we didn't know you as well. And I think we mentioned it. You would always come hang out in our locker room. And I know I've worked there a long time, but I'm a rodeo guy too. I come here every year. It's not the Death Star. Everybody's... And you guys, it was so fun to have you guys around this fall. We're all playing the same game. Everybody wears a cowboy hat. We're all striving to be better and be the best. And so I respect your decision. I did the same thing at one time. And proud of both you guys. So mostly, Josh, I'm proud of you for that kick-ass bi-level haircut that you sport with the perm. This going on right here?
It's natural. And Sage had part of this, the reason I have this mullet. In 2019, I bucked off all 10 bulls at the NFR, and the rookie bet was I had to shave my head. They shaved me bald. I looked terrible. I've had a mullet ever since. It grew back, grew my hair out long. My dad had kept me clean cut my whole life, and I cut the mullet, started making the whistle, so he lets me keep the mullet as long as I keep riding good. And my wife thinks it looks good, so I keep it.
Guys, you're two of my favorite. When you win and come up on stage at the South Point, we can depend on you giving a good interview, saying the right things, talking about the right things, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your time. I know it's late in the week, but my pleasure to have you both on this show. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Give it up, Sage Gibbsy, Josh Frost. Don't go anywhere. Chancey Williams going to sing for us after this quick break.
Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Here comes the Texas two-step Las Vegas style. Woo!
Welcome back, everybody. Outside the Barrel, coming to you live from Cowboy Christmas in the Las Vegas Convention Center. Everybody watching at home on all of our social media platforms, wherever you are watching, we appreciate you. It is Friday, the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, round number 9. A guy that has been here pretty much all week, performed earlier this week at the South Point. The last night and tonight with Parker McCollum opening for him. He is what we call a friend of the show. We can't have Outside the Barrel without this true Wyoming cowboy. Give it up for my friend, Mr. Chancey Williams. Good to see you. Oh, I should
Good
mention,
seeing you.
played the opening Monday.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I did not. The couch. Hey, I'll say though, if this was in your living room, which it could be from Runyon's Fine Furniture, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you could really take some naps on this thing.
It curves,
I
so
know.
you can.
Yeah, you can only lay
curve.
one way, but that's
It'd
okay.
look good in your house in Laramie.
Yeah. it would.
Laradise.
It'd really church the place up.
Looks too much like a magpie, doesn't it?
Who's this guy?
He's also from Laramie.
Also from Laradise.
Yep.
Laradise. So Parker McCollum last night at the.
We were at the Chelsea Theater at the Cosmopolitan. It was awesome.
And huge crowds, great room, great venue.
Yeah, the first time we've ever played there, and we're there tonight too. It's a doubleheader, so it should be fun. Sold out tonight.
And Parker has a good little fan base.
Yeah, good. They're young. They're wild. It was a blast last night, and it was we've played about every room in town after all these years, so it's fun to see a new room. But it was fun.
I think you guys really fit the South Point showroom after the buckle ceremony. That's a good.
We
fit
do.
for
You know, we were talking about that. We would like to play in everywhere in town, but that is all like the South Point's all the rodeo industry people, the stock contractors, the cowboys, announcers. So we get to see all the people we work with year round. So it does fit us really well to see and play the South Point.
I had Kylie Fry on a few days ago, and we talked about how there's making a circle in music that people crave real cowboy music. Kylie's great. You guys are great. I just want to mention what a great trip I had. My daughter lives in Boston, and I caught a flight to Boston, and right next to Fenway Park at House of Blues, I went to Ian Munsick and Chancey Williams in Boston, and the people were lined up down the sidewalk in their Toby Keith straw hats. What a great thing to see out in the Northeast.
It was. You know, we've played all over the country. We played the West Coast a lot. And we'd never been that far east, but playing Boston and Maryland. It was really neat to see there's real country music fans out there that like stuff that's not on Top 40 radio, that like real country music. So it was neat to play out there. It was fun having you out there because it was, you know, a place we would never typically meet. So we're like me and Flint hanging out in Boston.
In Boston. And the rule is if I'm at one of Chancey's concerts, I always introduce them.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, I'm Flint Rasmus. And they're like, okay, you're going to introduce us, right? I said, whoa, I'm used to being like in Billings or somewhere where everybody knows me, and it's kind of cool.
But they knew you out there,
and
too.
I got cheers because the PBR starting tonight is in Manchester, New Hampshire, which is like 50 miles. And there were PBR fans that knew who I was. I like,
yeah, it was a cool experience. We were out there we were on the East Coast for 28 days, so it was really fun to visit out there and see everything. You know, it makes you appreciate where you live. Like, I love Wyoming so much, but it was fun to visit, but probably don't want to move out there too bad.
I want to get your guitar over here.
Okay.
Because I make Chancey sing.
Hey, it popped up on Facebook today on those memories. 15 years ago, I've been on the show 15 times.
No kid, it's been 15 years.
Yeah, does that make you feel old?
Yeah, a little.
Not me, because I started when I was 15, so that makes me 30.
30, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm
Old.
87. Yeah. That's funny because I remember it's an interesting story how Kurt, somebody caught you in Laramie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
It was Ed Schott, who managed the fairgrounds in Laramie, said, "Hey, there's a guy in town. You should have him on your show." And he talked to Chancey and said, "Why aren't you on Flint's show?" And Chancey said, "I'd love to
I
be."
was like, Flint who?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just
know.
kidding.
So I remember the first time you came, and I'll let you sing. And it was actually the second time because I kind of knew you. And you guys showed up early in the morning, do check, and I said, do sound check. I said, you know what I like about how you sing, Chancey? You sound like you've been drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes all night long. And you said, you know why? Because we've been drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes.
Well, we used to go a lot harder in our younger
Yes, you
days.
did.
We've grown up a lot.
Yeah. What are you going to sing for me?
So we got a new song coming out January 12th, and thought I'd play you guys a new one today. A song called "A Cowboy Who Would." Have you ever seen a burnt red sunset? Counted a couple million stars from a truck bed. Seen them all go out when the sky turns blue. Tell me, have you ever really been out where you can feel the wild wind blowing through your long hair? Seen a cold water river cut the mountains in two? Well, if you ever want to, baby, I've run all out of reasons to run. I ain't going nowhere. If two people ever can make it to forever, that's us, I swear. I know they say we all ride away and we don't ever stay for good. Girl, I know cowboy who would. Do you ever just sit around and dream about 1,000 acres where nobody's ever settled down? Couple rockers looking out on a postcard view. Well, I do. Build a little church on the back of the property where I can change your last name to what it ought to be. Raise a couple kids and make a couple dreams come true. Well, if you ever want to, baby, I've run all out of reasons to run. I ain't going nowhere. If two people ever can make it to forever, that's us, I swear. I know they say we all ride away and we don't ever stay for good. Girl, I know cowboy who would. I know cowboy who would hang up his saddle, hang up his hat. If you're looking for love like that, baby, I've run all out of reasons to run. I ain't going nowhere. If two people ever can make it to forever, that's us, I swear. I know they say we all ride away and we don't ever stay for good. Girl, I know cowboy who would. Yeah, I know cowboy who would. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's brand new. It'll be out January 12th, I think, somewhere on the internet.
Brooke, your fiddle player.
Yeah.
She told me that's a great song. That's a good one.
We're really
I like
excited
it.
about it. Yeah, we got a bunch of radio stations said they'll play it and whatnot, but we just like cutting good stuff, so we're
Like it.
excited about it.
We have a couple minutes here, and I told you, depending on the clock, maybe you could sing two.
Yeah? You guys mind if I do another one? We put this one out on the last record, and we don't really play it live much, but thought I'd play it today. I wrote this with my friend Trent. It's kind of about people moving out west where we live, and we were trying to think who had the land first way back in the day, and we think it was the buffalo. So we wrote this one here called Land of the Buffalo, and my mom and dad are here. Mom wanted to hear this, so Mom gets what she wants. You can still walk along the warpath of the Cheyenne, Sioux, and Crow. See the scars across the prairie where the wagon tracks still show. These hills and plains and mountains are my family's history. It's a whole lot more than just this dirt that's been passed down to me. I guess you can say my blood runs right through. Some of us have given their last breath to hold on to it. So bury me underneath the cottonwood tree where the silver sagebrush grows and the Powder River rolls, and lay me down in that hallowed ground. Let the sand of the land of the buffalo cover my bones before it's all gone. There's still grass and sheep and cattle as far as I can see, but just over that horizon are rows of houses, lights, and streets. I can hear a storm a-coming, I can feel the winds change, but before I watch them pave these gravel roads, Lord, I pray that they bury me underneath the cottonwood tree where the silver sagebrush grows and the Powder River rolls, and lay me down in that hallowed ground. Let the sand of the land of the buffalo cover my bones before it's all gone. Lay me down in that hallowed ground. Let the sand of the land of the buffalo cover my bones before it's all gone. Before it's all gone. Ah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Tonight, give us your schedule. Tonight, Parker McCollum, correct?
8 o'clock
Parker?
tonight at the Chelsea Theater. We'll play right before Parker, and then, yeah, it should be a hell of a good time.
And you got anything over Christmas? I know you do the
Yep.
Buck and Ball in Gillette, the 31st.
Yep, playing the Buck and Ball in Gillette. It's always a fun time, and then we're off for a little bit. First time ever, get a few weeks off. We've been out for about, been to home 4 days in the last 2 months, so.
Well, go home to Laradice. Go home to more. By the way, I should say, the pride of Moorcroft.
That's right, yeah. I have a house in Laramie, but I'm from Moorcroft. I
From
live there, too.
Moorcroft, Wyoming. Always appreciate you.
Hey, thank you,
I
guys.
do want to, real quick, if you were here on Monday, Tuesday, whatever
Sun-
day it was, we had Keaton Brown.
Yeah.
The 16-year-old kid that was such a
Yeah.
hit. Chancey was sick. Keaton was a hit. Chancey was glad to hear it. Chancey offered to reschedule for today, so we
Yeah.
appreciate you, man.
Well, thank you guys for coming
always,
out.
Chancey Williams. Hey, everybody, we do this every day. Tomorrow, 12:30, the last day, which we always treat a little differently. Contestants are tired. We mix it up a little. Joe Beaver going to join us, talk about some world title races. Then we're going to spend a whole bunch of time with our friend, Canadian cowboy music singer, Corb Lund, going to join us. So join us tomorrow, 12:30. My name's Flint. This is Chancey. That's Kurt. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.